Hello and welcome to Kump. We're on the eve of Labor Day. Exciting. It's an exciting time in this country because this country values nothing more than labor. All sorts of labor. Criminal labor, corporate labor. We're just we're a labor state. We believe in the labor theory of value. It's just what we do. It's a nice time to converse with your fellow comrades about the benefits of I don't even know Marx. The people not like Marx. They don't like Chomsky. They like the guy Marconi. It's not Marconi. Some Italian guy. He's better. He's the better anarchist, which is fine with me. I'm all for it. Show me a guy who's going to tell me why Dick Cheney is actually killing 0.6% more people than we thought, and then the government's screwing. They're shoving their flaccid appendages a little bit deeper into us. Like, all right, Chomsky was a shill for the CIA. I get it, but that's not important. We're not here to discuss the benefits of Marconi versus Chomsky, whoever his name is. The point is labor. It's a day for us to just, lay back and contemplate the world, not have to hand you a pound of macaroni salad, not have to fucking, oh, wait, you come in here. Most days you come to my deli and you ask for a pound of macaroni salad, but you want the mayonnaise taken off. You want me to wash the mayonnaise off. And it just seems like we can make a batch about mayonnaise. No, you want the hint of mayonnaise, but you want me to wash it off. That's what they do to labor in this country. Just wash the man. You can't wash the mayonnaise off. The mayonnaise doesn't come out in a wash. People talk about people come from certain places. I forget the expressions. You can't wash the dirt out of your nails, but you can. Of course you can. These are dumb expressions, but they talk about people who try to rise above their station in life, who try to, I don't know, they started out in the dirt, and they became the king of cars, the car king of Detroit. Well, Detroit, that'd be a tough one. The car king of Cincinnati. I sell cars. I make millions of dollars a year. I have a hot fucking wife who fucking takes her tits and shoves them into a fucking a camera that I bought her. But only for me. It's a weird box I built, and it just takes tit pictures, and she sends them to me while I'm selling cars. That's the dream. It's the American dream. It's just my tit wife, just photographing her dumb. I mean, she went to Harvard, probably not Harvard. She went to SUNY Farmingdale, and she fucking takes pictures of her tits, but doesn't put them on the internet. But I came from the dirt. I was a guy who worked in the dirt. And now she's just fucking, she doesn't cook. She always gets takeout from fucking Chipotle because she thinks that's classy. And I like it. I like the taste. But I want to eat steaks. That's the kind of guy who, complain. But you can wash the dirt off. But you can't wash the mayonnaise off. That's the thing. Mayonnaise doesn't, we're a mayonnaise country. People love to shit on people. I see a lot of this thing, and that's not any kind, but like apparently white. Yeah, I believe it too. I mean, I've always had seasoning. I used to use adobo from Goya. People, the logic out there is that white people don't season their food, which I mean, I've seen plenty of them who don't. I mean, I live in a city at the moment. I grew up on Long Island where the food was seasoned. But you hear horror stories about the people out there, the white people specifically, who just don't. I guess they just boil their meat. They don't put paprika on their cereal, whatever. I mean, I like seasoning. I would advise. I mean, that's the whole point. That's the weird thing. It's like, for a country that's as imperial as the United States, and don't tell me it's not. Oh, we only fight wars we have to. Come on. We fought. We're first of all, we're the same people who fought the Spice Wars, or whatever they called them. We came here looking for spices. Well, I mean, that was the whole deal, right? We came to America looking to get seasonings, oregano, possibly, or jasmine. Is that a seasoning or is that a scent? Coriander, fucking Old Bay spice. Which colony did we get Old Bay spice? I guess the Old Bay, probably Massachusetts, right? I mean, did it come as one, or do you have to mix that? Is Old Bay just one thing? That'd be amazing if we have to Columbus is like, look, I'll get you a route to the New World. They're trying to get to India, right? That's the whole the gimmick. The Crusades happened, and people kind of realized, oh shit, there's spices out there and silk and things. The logic is the Crusades. I mean, it's simplified, but the Crusades happen. We kill a bunch. The Catholic Church wages war on the Muslim Empire or whatever at the time. They fight back. It's back and forth. I mean, they took Jerusalem. We took it back. How is it we? Why is it we? It shouldn't be we. That's part of the problem. Why are we relating to, when they go, oh, when there's this religious shit going on, it's like, well, we fought the Crusade. Did we? I'm not saying. No, I'm saying don't. Why aren't we on the side of just? I'm not defending it. I'm not saying. First of all, we did enough in the post 9/11 years. So don't get me wrong. But it's just why are we even backing this? These guys are fucking maniacs. But we're defending the actions of a pedophile empire. But whatever. I mean, look. This is who we're like Stockholm syndrome. We're like, oh no, the Crusades weren't all evil. I mean, look, our pedophile backers or whatever our pedophile emperor pope, fucking, he had a point that we needed to get this stupid fucking brick city of Jerusalem. Who cares? Let them have it. Whoever have it. Let the Mormons have it. Why do I give a shit? Let the Mormons take Jerusalem. Why do I give a shit? I mean, the Jews seem to be very focused on it now, so it'd probably be geopolitically. That's probably not the best stance to have. Just hey, let the Mormons have it, Jerusalem. That's gonna start a war. But you see my point. It's whoever, but let it be King Solomon. Didn't it cut it in half? And that's not a good idea. The baby in half, cut the baby in half, and one mother's like, I mean, I bring this up all the time. It's the only thing from childhood that I learned apparently is King Solomon threatening to cut a baby in half, and then the mother going, yeah, give me half the baby. I want to hug half a baby. I want to just lick its fucking spleen, I guess. Spit all over its fucking colon. You get the colon from the outside, right? What is the colon? Doesn't matter. The point is that I don't care. I was on a focus, though. We were on spices. All right, so they fucking fought the Crusades, and they discovered spices. And therefore, we have to get more of these spices and quicker. And that's the whole fucking gimmick of why we conquered the quote-unquote New World, which the irony of that name is, I'm sure, been beaten to death. It's new. Hey, bang, bang, it's new. No one's here. Whatever. You get it. But the point is, it's ironic, I guess, because there does seem to be, and look, if you look at people I think have gotten better with spices, even people who weren't accustomed to them. But there was plenty of time in this country to drive around and, there's barbecue in Texas and those places. But in the middle of America, people just have mayonnaise salads. Honestly, we went to the Hamptons and then we got some potato salad. No, it was macaroni salad, just covered in mayonnaise. And this is not even a fucking, maybe it's, not all of Long Island is, that's a reflection because those people are rich. Just like Southampton or whatever, East Hampton. And we got bagels, shit bagels, disgusting, pointless bagels. And the salad was just fucking, I like a good macaroni salad. My grandma made a good one. We used to I learned from my dad. One of the great things I learned from my dad is we'd have macaroni salad with Thanksgiving dinner. You think that's bullshit? You think that's not something you should do? Fuck you. You're not. I'm American. I get to be an American. You can't tell me how to celebrate my national patriot days, my patriotic fucking displays. You can't tell me how to fucking show my love for this fucking beautiful country. We'd have macaroni salad on Thanksgiving, and you'd put the gravy on the macaroni salad, which did have mayonnaise, just not that much. And you'd fucking let the gravy sip over it, and it was nice. There's something nice about it. It mixes in the gravy. It's almost like a analogy for like a melting pot. So point is, but there's like an irony, we're gonna fucking go get spices and then we don't use any of them. I guess we sell them. It's kind of like the guy who fucking, the car king of Cincinnati, but he drives around a fucking Chevy Nova, which is, a noble car, I suppose. But it's the guy who fucking owns a steakhouse, but, eats Hot Pockets. It happens. When I worked at the morgue, you don't see me watching horror films and gore films. Hey, you want to watch Gore Fest 56? No, I had I was wrist deep in a decomposed bus driver today. Obese man, just fucking, sad. He killed himself and now he's decomposed because no one loved. I'm not gonna say no one loved him, but no one came for him. I'm not gonna go that far. I'm not gonna disparage the dead man to the point where no one loved you. Maybe they were running a marathon, they couldn't get to their dead loved one, their father, their husband. Maybe some woman was like, look, I have to go train for a marathon for 2 months. Don't kill yourself while I'm gone. And he did, because he's a fucking sneak. This guy was a real sneak. She knew something was up. We shouldn't make light of suicides because, it's a serious thing and it's depression. But this guy, was just a sneak. I know him specifically, so don't fucking give me shit. Most suicides you should take very seriously, but this guy was a sneak. Whatever. The point is, I was wrist deep in there, just fucking. It was weird. The organs were a little orange. The fat turns orange. It was rancidy. Just smells like fucking. I don't even know how to describe it. Have I described the smell of a really decomposed body here before? It's like rotten meat mixed with shit, mixed with just like a citrusy kind of vibe. And like a citric thing with a kind of ammonia. But it's just, everything's amped up by 1,000. It's just one of the most noxious things. I mean, I would fucking, just take up like a man, quote unquote, not to gender anything, but I would take the opportunity to not. My whole thing was we're here anyway, we're gonna do it anyway. Why are we gonna go oh, it smells? People I worked with would be like that. They'd be like, it smells. You worked here for a while, years sometimes, decades even. Oh, this really stinks. Just act like you've been there. What's wrong with that? What's wrong? You're going to do it anyway. I can see if you're look, I tap out. I'm going home. We can do that? Whatever. I'm leaving. It's a county job. They're going to fire me? I would get that. Cool. But, you're doing it anyway. We're all hungover. It's a Saturday, morning at 9 a.m. I wasn't even able to eat my egg sandwich, which I brought with me to the morgue, which I would do sometimes. I'd bring a nice egg sandwich. But then there'd be 15 bodies, and 3 of them are decomposed, which wasn't the average. But, sometimes you got a bunch of decomps on any given day. So you show up, there was 2 photographers, which, in some ways was, a lot of the time was overkill. But it's a county job, so, they have to, because they're not going to, you can't just have someone else do your job. When I work, in the private sector, when someone's out, for a vacation, we all just kind of take some of their work on our plate, even if it's not our job. Let's just say that person's some kind of coordinator. You fucking their boss takes some of it, you take some of it, you fucking whatever. That doesn't work in the county. The county is your job is your job. It's your title. You can't work out a title. And so it's very, I guess I don't know if it's a county thing or a union thing. But whatever, the point is, so you'd have overkill. You'd have extra. We'd have 2 photographers every day. It was 3 total. We'd kind of the schedule would rotate. Don't worry about it. And the point is, but that way, when someone was off, there was someone there, and someone was on vacation, someone's there. So it wasn't always 2. But the point is, you get there and it's 15 bodies, and that's the day your fucking coworker. Oh, I'm sick. No, you're not. You're at the beach eating mayonnaise salad. Good for good on you. It's sometimes it was a race of who actually, who calls in sick first. Because it's not, it was a certain understanding of not questioning. It's kind of which is maybe in most jobs, but there the county. I never wanted to work for the county because I always got the vibe that it was a lot of people who didn't. To say they weren't trying hard is one thing, but like it was just they didn't care, and it was just kind of like a floating. Because anytime you interact with someone who works for the government, it's always kind of this apathy, and you imagine it's like, what are you doing? You're fucking approving permits, or you're fucking doing. I don't even know what people do. I mean, there's plenty of jobs. There's things out there if you're a social worker, but even that just seems you're part of a system. I'm sure you're helping people. But but in the morgue, it was interesting enough, so I took the job. And like, there's a certain thing. Like, look, they're not the most go-getter, I guess, out there. But there's only a certain level of apathy you can really have when you have bodies piling up. You come in, there's 15 bodies. You can't just fucking be like, well, I guess we'll just maybe we'll do 2. We'll just do what we do. No, you have to get done. You have to get them done that day. I mean, there was a rule that was put in place where they had to finish them that night. They couldn't like hold over until the next day. And you wonder where that rule came from. I mean, were they just piling up the same way I, put off cleaning my bedroom? They're like, we'll cut that body open, next week maybe when we get a chance. We'll do that in between bodies. That child, the child's got priority. But whatever. That old man, a lot of old people would the menu. What's the word? It's what we got. It's old people who smell like piss. That was your baseline. And then you get the murders and the children. Some of them were children who were sick. Some of them were beaten to death. Some of them died in a car crash. All very sad. You get your decomps. You get your suicides. You got your fucking... what else was there? Am I missing anything? I mean, I'm cutting brains open because then sometimes people had the car crashes, the train suicides, which is a different classification. Train suicides are a whole nother. The MTA brings them, or we bring them, I guess, but the MTA would, supply the bag because usually the bag was pretty, thin plastic, like a white plastic. But the MTA when you got a fucking train suicide, the MTA had these like heavy, I guess they were vinyl bags because you might have the body in 6 parts. You literally like take the arm out, take the leg. It's a train does damage. I think you imagine that. I guess the blood falls out at the scene because it's usually not. There's blood. Don't get me wrong. There's blood, but you would think when someone gets their arm cut off. I mean, there's that movie. There's the Holy Grail movie with Monty Python where like the guys just pumping blood out. It's comedic. But I imagine that would happen. But in other movies, just people getting their limbs cut off. Are they just not bleed? I don't know. I'm not a guy who cuts arms off. I guess the blood falls out before it gets to me. But point is, that's the morgue for you. And so we would, you show up on a Saturday afternoon, there's 15 bodies, and you're hungover, your belly's full of whiskey and farts, whiskey farts. You just want to take a big shit. And you're just fucking fuming at your coworker because it's not their fault per se, but you're focusing your rage on them, and you're just fingerprinting some dead kid. I don't know why we fingerprinted them. I mean, the thing was we had to fingerprint everybody that came in, but we never used our fingerprints. Because if there was a need for fingerprints to identify someone legally, they would bring the cops in. The cops had their own ID squad, and they would do much more advanced fingerprints, like we just did. We had these strips with one box for each finger, and you grab the thumb. We got good at it. It was a skill to it. Don't get me wrong. It's tough manipulating a dead hand. You have to break the rigor. I mean, I might have talked about this before, but early on in the podcast. But let's just a lot of new people. So what you would do is you have to break the rigor. You'd have to because body's in rigor mortis, and you'd have to kind of. Rigor mortis is basically a contraction of muscles, right? So, they tighten up, and the stronger someone is, the more rigor there is. So you have to kind of pull on the arm. You kind of grab the shoulder and then picture like the person's laying down, you're pushing their arm so that their arm is going like kind of perpendicular to their shoulder span. They're kind of they're doing like a fucking dumbbell fly, I guess you'd call it. And you push, and then like eventually you kind of do it for a while, and you kind of being careful. Eventually, you start feeling it kind of crackle like a fucking piece of plastic, and we start to unravel. And you get it, and you kind of it would take some time. Some are worse than others, but you have to break the rigor and then basically you break in different spots too, like the shoulder and then the elbow and then the wrist, and then you would like bend at the elbow and then bend at the wrist, and then you push down the top of the palm, like as so, like this. If you're watching the video, as so, and then like that would naturally kind of spread the fingers out, and then you would just have this little spoon that you would cup and you would fingerprint them. It was nice. I mean, it was a skill. Look, every job, if you want to get good at it, has a skill. You could, I know people who deliver bread for a living. Good friend of mine, and some people do that job and and then just kind of half-ass it and just kind of, well, I'm just putting bread on there. This motherfucker, I'm helping him sometimes. This motherfucker's grabbing two in each hand at a time and throwing them into the fucking the shelf in a way that is. It doesn't seem like it's a fucking science, but it is. It's like you can train yourself to be really good at anything. So make you want to be more efficient at this, and you just throwing it. It's a muscle memory to it. And I'm sitting there trying to help them. It's just like these fucking things are like uneven. I feel like a fucking slob. Whatever. The point is, you get good at the fingerprints, but they couldn't use them. They were useless. We just boxes of them in the basement. And then from before I got there was boxes of just they go in an envelope. It's all very, it was very organized. It was like an envelope for the fingerprints, and then they go in the bigger envelope with the fucking ID picture. It was nice. But, there was a box. There was an ongoing task that, eventually we'll get to this from, the 80s maybe, I don't know, of a box of just these fingerprint strips. And, these need to be, figured out whose they belong to. I'm like, how the fuck would we ever even do that? But it's just, that's the thing of the county, we can't throw it out. It's I can't get in trouble for saying we're going to do something and not doing it in this way. A body, yeah. I mean, you can't just leave a body in the hallway and go, I said I was going to do it, and I didn't. What are you going to do? There are some repercussions. But, I mean, in this kind of thing about it, there's a box here. We're going to get to it. That's part of our long-term plan. Part of our 5-year plan is to figure out, based on what, I don't know, whose fingerprint goes with which case from fucking 25 years ago. Because these fucking slobs doing the job before me. I mean, the job wasn't that hard. And they couldn't even do that. Will they leave every day and go to the beach? Maybe. That's part of Long Island culture. We'll just fucking bail out. Point is, so I don't know. The box, still there, I'm sure. And no one will throw it out, though. You get a lot of trouble. You probably wouldn't. Probably never get caught, but what's the point? Because if you did get caught, then it's a whole scandal, right? Then it's potentially, destroying evidence. Which I guess it is. I mean, I wasn't advocating to throw it out. That's the thing. You sit there and go, yeah, all right. We'll get to it eventually. How will we figure it out? And the guy's like, oh, all right, we'll get to this eventually. We'll figure it. We'll down the road a piece. And you just kind of know, it's just an acknowledgement. It's kind of like Social Security or fucking medic, how are we going to fix the health? I mean, eventually, maybe. That's why they call it a third rail, because it's just, if you went, or national debt. I mean, if you look the dollar, the inflation on the dollar, and how do you unravel? If you want, let's just say you wanted to go back to a gold standard, how would you go back to the dollar? Well, we can't really. I mean, the amount of fucking back and forth inflation and debt and everything's built it's just too much. It's just you have to let it fall apart and then build it back up. And I don't know what that would look like in a morgue. Just let all the bodies rot at once. Maybe. But you I was talking about, you show up and you fucking, you're drunk and you're dealing with decomposed body. I don't know how we got onto this. Oh, the spices. So, it is weird that, we conquered the world with these spices and, we don't fucking use them. You should put paprika on your fucking Hot Pocket. Each seasoning better. But the point is the mayonnaise. You can't wash off the mayonnaise from your... That's the mayonnaise we're talking about. Just to kind of the fucking nothing. And you could say that, maybe you can make the argument that, people who have it better will be when they get to that point. Or have it worse than me. People who don't have it as good as you, they'll be when they get the job, or they stop being shit upon. They get better opportunity. But that's part of the gimmick. Part of the gimmick of America is to be able to be just to kind of eat your mayonnaise in silence and just enjoy your sailboat or whatever. Not a nice boat, like a shitty sailboat, the kind you see at camp. People love to have. There was a guy I knew. Whatever. We weren't friends or anything, but he came from upstate, and he had a kayak. And it occurred to me, and he was like, you go fishing in a kayak. It's like a little boat. I went kayaking in camp, but like you could just. That's about Long Island. Certain people just like. I lived there my whole life. I didn't go to the beach. I wasn't a beach. I went there as a kid, but I didn't really enjoy the water. And this guy comes from out of nowhere. He's like, he got a kayak immediately, and he's just fishing off his kayak, and he's fucking. Drinking beers in his kayak, getting his dick sucked in his kayak, whatever. I mean, it's a kayak fucking orgy fest. And I'm like, why didn't I think of this? I'm a slob. I just go home to my parents' house and I drink screwdrivers. That's what I would do when I first got the job. I moved out pretty quickly. We discussed recently how I got, threatened to blow my dad's house up or whatever, or burn down. But, it was like a 6-month window where I got the job. I was making some, comparatively good money compared to what I was making. Steady paycheck and all that, and but I wasn't paying rent yet, and the idea, I was saving a lot, or whatever. I was saving a decent more than I ever did in my life before that. But it was also just so I was just kind of complacent. I was in this zone of like, I'm just gonna come home at like 4. I get home at 4:30 because the morgue would end. We get there at 8 to 4. Come home 4:30. I brought an iPad when I first got there. So I'm just on my iPad. Drunk, just drinking screwdrivers in the backyard. It was, it was a nice thing. It was a thing that the first time I really enjoyed nature, I think, fully. I mean, I went to camp and all that, but the first time I really enjoyed nature was being in a very modest backyard, just drinking screwdrivers, watching YouTube videos on my iPad. It was kind of a serene time, because I was coming from the wedding photography business and the event photography business and all that, where it's like you're constantly behind, you constantly have all these like deadlines. But the county, you get to leave it all. That's the thing about labor. You get to leave it all at the fucking door. That should be the deal. You get to fucking leave, you don't take your work home with you. You don't fucking worry about get done. No, it doesn't matter. Like the doctor's in charge. If the doctor says we can leave this fucking corpse rotting in the hallway, it's not my bit. Doctor said I can go. The doctor's got a gun. They're shooting into the body for some reason. I'm like, maybe they're doing ballistics. I can leave. They said I could leave. It's nice not having to. Everyone thinks they want to be in charge, but it's nice to have the ability to just kind of defer your responsibility and go, no, look, the doctor is cutting the vagina out of a woman, which actually happened. I actually wasn't there for that, but like I came in, my off days were Tuesday and Wednesday, and I came in, and they were like, oh, and I was joking, like, oh, did I miss anything? Because like it was kind of, you might have missed something, but it's the kind of thing, whatever. At that point, you're there for 6 months, you've seen a bunch of, maybe not everything, but most of it. Everything seems kind of, the guy, you miss anything? And yeah, doctor, whatever, I'm not gonna say the name. It was a woman, I'll just say that, which I don't know if it matters, but there was some woman who died of cervical cancer, maybe, or vagina cancer. And she just cut. I never seen anything like this before. She just cut like around the entire vagina and just removed it, and to keep it. And I was just like, why? And like, I mean, is that something they like put it in formaldehyde and like come back to it in 6 months? Maybe. There's a lot of unanswered questions. It was like watching The Sopranos. Like we go, does the Russian come back? I don't think he does. Right? He doesn't come back. And I also don't know what happened with the vagina. Did she, it's like a J.J. Abrams show. It's like, does this pay off? No. There's a lot of things that didn't pay off. But then again, sometimes a serial killer would come around and you'd find a foot that went with a body that's been there for, 10, 15 years. So certain things do pay off. It's just it's like one of those shows in Britain. Like, what's that show they have? EastEnders. It goes on forever, or soap opera. It's like a soap opera. Maybe it pays off. Maybe someone comes in and starts writing a fucking thing from 6 months ago, 60 years ago, whatever. They took a plot line from like 20 years ago and like, let's just do something with this. That's what I should write soap operas, because I would just fucking go watch old things and I would just turn fucking old priests into like mafia guys. That'd be fun. That would actually make soap opera. Whatever. This is a weird detour that I've never watched a soap opera for more than 5 minutes. But somehow I think I'm gonna make them cool by turning priests into mafia guys. That's the fucking. And that's this podcast in a nutshell, I guess. Because also I'm calling them mafia guys. Turn a priest into a mafia guy. That's the gimmick. That's how we turn this around. General Hospital or Life to Live. We'll just turn priests into mafia guys. What the fuck? Why am I not shot constantly just by like random children? I don't understand. So the point is, you can't wash off this mayonnaise, right? And I keep coming back to this. You can't wash off the mayonnaise. It's a day for labor is the point. Was the original point that I was making. It's a day to just enjoy yourself, to relax, to put away your burdens, much the way I would when I come home from the morgue and I would just drink screwdrivers. Everyone should have that luxury because we come from a situation historically where labor was. It's easy to shit on socialism, right? Which I'm not a socialist. You don't know that. I mean, at heart, I might at this point adopt certain socialist ideas because like we've allowed this to become insane, and so why not just give people health care and just maybe give people some income? It's not real anymore. We've let it go too far, but it doesn't mean I'm not a free market guy at heart. To an extent, at least. I mean, I have ideas. If the revolution happens, and it's done by people who are actually interested in ideas, which I don't think that's likely. But if it does, I have some ideas of how to rebuild capitalism in a way, we can learn from our mistakes. I know it's a crazy idea when you realize that a system has gotten a little out of control. I know it's a crazy idea to go, hey, how can we learn from this? How can we modify this? How can we make sure that, these horrible things don't happen again? But no, but the prevailing wisdom seems to be, and which I get, just blow it all up and do the opposite thing, which is fair enough. But I do have ideas. If anyone wants to see me on the revolution, on the fucking either side. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to pick either side because one side's why is there a side in America? I don't know. And, you can either be Antifa or white nationalists. It's like that neither one sounds great. I mean, neither one sounds like what I want to do. I feel like we should, we're getting into we could fix this, but there's just layers of things on top of this. I'm not going to get it. The point is a day for relaxing is the point. All right? It's a day we don't have to think about how do you stop these cops from shooting people or how do you stop these people from asking for, the government to pay for your, fucking dildo, whatever. I mean, that seems like a strange contrast. I'm not trying to say it's, I'm not trying to make an equivalency here. We all know there's fucking problems. The point is, you can have a hot dog today. You can have a nice fucking. You can relax with a fucking drink. Go to the beach. We're going to the beach. All right, we're gonna enjoy a nice beach. I haven't gone to the beach regularly. I used to go as a kid. I used to be a boogie board kid, and it wasn't good. I would basically go. I remember I had a pink boogie board. I didn't pick it out. It was the kind of thing where it was cheaper, probably because it was pink, and whatever. It was neon pink, I guess. I'm not saying whatever. I didn't turn out. It doesn't matter. I mean, the idea. I think it matters less to people now. But as a kid, I remember being kind of insecure about it being pink. Doesn't need to be blue, but I don't know. Why does it matter? Why is pink feminine? Who made pink feminine? I like salmon. I mean, salmon's more orange, but whatever. Is salmon pink or orange? Someone look it up. I always think of salmon as really more of an orange color. I guess it's pink sometimes. Pink salmon's kind of gross, right? You want orange salmon. When does pink salmon, when we start calling salmon pink, that shouldn't be the focus. Point is, I would boogie board, and it wasn't good. And I would be like a chubby kid on a boogie board, just kind of letting the waves carry me in at Gilgo Beach, actually, where the serial killer struck years later. I used to boogie board at that beach, and then later on, I'm dealing whatever. I don't know if I'm legally allowed to talk about cases I was involved in specifically, so I won't. Let's just say boogie boarding's not the only thing that I dealt with at the Gilgo Beach. Is that broadcast early enough? Boogie boards weren't the only thing getting killed, some fat kid on a boogie board wasn't the only hooker getting murdered. If you know what I mean? That's subtle enough. I'll tell you, that fat kid on a boogie board sure wasn't a skeleton found in a burlap sack, tell you that much. Because he was chubby. These I should be Johnny Carson, apparently. Obviously, I've never watched Johnny Carson. What was I talking about? We're getting off on a crazy rant here. The point is, I would boogie board at the beach. And I got burned so bad one time. Because I have fair skin. And I guess if I went out all the time in the sun, I might develop a base tan. But I don't. And I still feel like I would still burn. I burned so bad I got bubbles on my back. Like literally blister bubbles, like a big one. An alligator and alligator skin. Like just real, like, I guess it was sun poisoning. So I avoided going to the beach a lot in subsequent years. I did go recently to the Hamptons, to a very exclusive, I guess, beach where a lot of rich people go and frolic in their bikinis and their tankinis and their fucking whatever. And it was fine. The ocean's nice. I was getting my ass kicked by the ocean. I don't usually swim in the ocean, so it's like the waves. I don't get the whole beach thing personally. I like you go on the water. If you live at the beach, it must be fantastic because you go out, you get into the water for 20 minutes, and then you come back out. But to make a day of it, like I'm dreading this a little bit. I'm making a day of going to the beach. It just, I get we don't bring the setup. See, I always like to think that it's better to bring yourself, go light. Pack light. Don't fucking bring a bunch of shit. But the people who really figure it out bring the boom box, and they have the grill for the hot dogs. And they're making hot dogs, and they're fat kids playing boogie board. They got fucking mayonnaise salads in a cooler, and they're fucking just enjoying themselves. Hold on, what is this? Why is this not low battery? They fucking got the cooler going on. Is this not charging? Son of a bitch. And they're playing with salads. They're playing with fucking. They got fucking enjoyable. They got the fucking frisbee. See, I'm a little distracted at the moment. See, we're figuring out. This is the thing. I got this fucking cell phone camera, and you fucking know. And I had that one episode where I had to cut stuff out of the middle because the fucking camera stops in the middle of the fucking episode. I got to get a dedicated camera. I got to get a fucking camera that's made for doing this. Whatever. Like you can't, if you were listening out there and you're like, why are you sacrificing quality of the audio? You're just saying dumb shit. And, about cameras, I'm here because I'm a video guy too. It's a YouTube age. Don't give me shit, all right? People want to see me while I'm describing boogie boards. And that's just what you have to deal with. This is not up for discussion. The YouTube people, you have to get along with them. Okay? So you're at the beach, and you're fucking enjoying a nice hot dog, I guess. That's the gimmick. Like, you need to make a day of it. But to just go and lay there, I don't get that. I don't like it. I get sand in my feet. You're looking at women, and you kind of feel creepy. You're like, you're catching all peaks of, hot bodies. But I just feel like a gawker. Like, I'll just go look at porn. I don't need to go. Yeah, is it better live? I guess. But, like, I don't want to fucking be staring at people's asses. That's not fun. You gotta be like, you have to be the guy who just be constantly worried. How do you enjoy looking at an ass when you're constantly worried to go, like, turn around and be like, sex pervert. And I have to be like, is there a defense? Am I not a sex pervert? I mean, you have your underwear or whatever, your bathing suit wedged into your tight ass. It's made to look at, but I still would feel like a sex pervert. So I'd have to defend myself and go, you don't be, and then you sound like a fucking guy telling a woman not to dress like a whore, which I'm not. But I'm saying, like, there's no winning in that situation. So you fucking grab peeks through your sunglasses, but it's not enjoyable. It's not relaxing. So what's the people? Oh, yeah, you look at the girls and the hot bods and your fucking boogie board, your hot dogs. It just doesn't seem like maybe it's just why I can't ever be happy in the traditional way. Maybe I'm just not a guy who's just comfortable. I'm comfortable in my own skin, but not in environments. Like, I'll be me. I'll tell you, I sucked a dick and I didn't like it. I don't give a shit. I don't care. But, like, I don't want to go to a fucking dance club. I don't like it. I don't like going to beaches. I don't like going to fucking Applebee's. I mean, Applebee's, like, it's gross. I do like I like a nice Mexican restaurant where I get chili rellenos. I don't like coffee shops. I don't like going to a coffee shop. I go with Lucy. Not at the moment, not. I don't want to call it a silver lining of the pandemic because it feels mean because she loves the coffee shops. It's like, oh, yeah, I win because you're stuck in here with me. You can't go to a fucking strange coffee shop and eat an almond croissant while you fucking, whatever. People love these things in Brooklyn. It's just a bunch of slobs I don't like, and we're all just crammed together on a fucking bench, and I'm just drinking a cold brew while I'm fucking, working on my beats. It doesn't seem nice. Whatever. The point is, I'm an unhappy person, I guess. But, I like watching The Umbrella Academy, apparently, because that was actually a good show. I'll endorse that. That was nice. It was a nice 2 days where I binged The Umbrella Academy, and I thought it looked dumb. I thought it was one of those things that looked good, but was probably dumb, and actually turned out to be really good, at least in my estimation. I liked it a lot. I'm not standing here. I'm not endorsing anything here. I'm just saying, but I'm a weird creep who burrows in. I'll get into that for 2 days. You watch it real quick. So you don't want to linger. You don't want to have to think about what you're watching. Just like I got the beats for fucking a few months. I made some songs. I'll get back into it this year, maybe next year. I find my patterns of things. So I'm not a guy. I can't commit to being a boat guy. I'll fucking go on fucking water for a week, and I'll get sick of it. And I have a fucking $30,000 boat. Enough. I can't see. I don't understand people who know they're gonna buy a fucking vacation house every year. They're gonna go there. I might not want to fucking play croquet next year. I'm really into croquet right now, and I'm fucking wearing these white shorts, and I'm hoping I don't fucking short into them, whatever. But I'm doing it. I got really into tennis. I watched Wimbledon, the entire tournament almost. I had and I had the Xbox 360 set up with the ESPN app 1 year for Wimbledon, the big English tennis tournament, the British tennis tournament, classic, strawberries and cream, the whole deal. And you could actually watch, I believe, at least two at once. They have a cool feature on this app where you could. So I'm watching 2 or 3 tennis things at once. I think I had one on my iPad, 2 on the TV. I just couldn't get enough of tennis. I haven't watched tennis since then. I don't know whether that's who I am. And some people will say, well, that's the sign of a genius. I haven't done anything with it though. I mean, maybe certain geniuses can harness that into like stupid Elon Musk with his fucking pedophile submarine. I got really into building a pedophile to abduct children for 2 weeks, and I built it. And now I'm building batteries for a fucking, a goddamn mayonnaise cooler for the beach. And next week it'll be the cars again. And he makes money. But yeah, I'm too good of a person. I'm not a scammer. I mean, I might scam a little. No, I don't. I don't like scam. I hate the idea of being seen as the car salesman. I don't know why. But the idea that someone knows I'm full of shit. But that's part of sales, is that knowing you sound full of shit and doing it anyway. And it works a certain percentage of the time. You look at these scripts, you go, how could this possibly work? It does. People make money. And so I need to be able to do that with my fucking, my weird scams of I'm a beat guy. I'm a DJ now. I'm a fucking croquet, magnet. I'm a croquet fucking entrepreneur. We used to have croquet as a kid. We set up in our shitty backyard. Not the shit of my parents, but it was a very modest backyard. Pretty small, smallish. It was, it was bigger than, if you live in the city, it's bigger than the city backyard typically. But, it was whatever. It wasn't big at all. And we played croquet in it. Very uneven backyard. Whatever, it was fun. That's the thing. People act like it's some fancy fucking thing. I mean, polo's a thing you can't do if you don't have money, right? You can't ride a horse if you don't have money. But you can put a stupid croquet mallet, what they call it, in the wicks, they call it, the things you fucking shoot through. It's a dumb game. Fuck croquet. Fuck croquet, fuck badminton, fuck Fuck polo. All right? Give the horse a gun. Why the horse should be able to shoot. Or the fucking Kentucky Derby was yesterday. Why don't you give the jockey a gun? Why don't you let the jockeys shoot each other? And I'm not, give them armor. I'm not saying they're expendable. I'm not trying to make the case. It's not a blood sport because jockeys who happen to be short people are somehow expendable. But give them guns because they're not the ones, they don't get the credit, right? Give them spikes. Give them fucking hammers because they don't get enough credit. The jockey gets no credit. It's always the horse one. And I don't know enough about it to know if that's right or not. I don't know if they deserve any credit. But I feel like you're riding the horse, you deserve something, right? So let them actually dictate who wins more by giving them weapons. Letting them throw, make it like Mario Kart, where you're throwing banana peels or truncheons or spikes onto the dirt in front of the other horses. Or you get you get one spike per fucking thing. You gotta use it properly. It's a strategy to it. Or give them a gun, let them shoot the other jockey in the head, and then jump onto that horse. How amazing would that be if you were fucking watching the Kentucky Derby or the fucking Belmont, the Belmont Stakes, the Preakness, and you're just fucking, these two fucking horses are fucking, riding fucking, arm to arm, or whatever horses do, hoof to hoof, and and you're all just fucking, this is insane. This is a fucking nail biter of a race. And all of a sudden, the jockey pulls out a fucking 38 special and just puts it he literally gets it into the mouth of the other jockey and he goes, say hello to the Grim Reaper, motherfucker. And just pulls the trigger and his brains blow out and he jumps onto the horse. What's more exciting than this? I mean, what is more, do less war so we can do that. Look, there's going to be a certain amount of misery. Don't give me the hypocrisy. Oh, the Roman Empire was so evil. They fucking put tigers in the cage. We put people into fucking butt pyramids in Abu Ghraib, tortured them, fucking made Muslim people eat rotted pork. Doing that, we're doing that in the fucking in these camps, these fucking what do you call them, immigration prisons, or whatever the fuck. You tell me we can't, the tiger eating the guy, is that much? Whatever. I mean, so the jockey thing, we can make it work. Just get the balance sheet out and just do a few less wars, feed a little less rotten pork to some Muslim people, and then we can justify having a jockey just fucking pulling his gun out and jumping on a horse. This will make us America again. We need this. We have the wrong kind of violence. We're just blowing up countries. We used to at least pretend that we weren't doing it, right? Like World War II. I mean, that's the most legitimate one, but even that one seems pretty sketchy. But all the other one, World War I, we got into it, just so we could divide up Europe after the fact. But we get credit for it, is my point, because we played the game a little bit. Even Vietnam, there was some pretense. Iraq was so fucking, just out there, and no one feels good about it at all. We need violence that makes us feel good. Jockeys fucking shooting each other. Give them a sword. Give baseball guys the guns. Give them fucking, they already have bats. Let them hit each other with the bats. Why not just have it'd be cool. First of all, it would look cooler. Everyone has a bat on their back. Even when you're in the outfield. Your bat, it's like one of those fucking cool sword things, which I never seem to be. You watch these YouTube videos about actual sword stuff, and it's not these aren't practical. Here's how Game of Thrones will never work. Okay, but whatever. You watch Dragon Ball Z, and guy Trunks has the sword that goes in his fucking back, and Deadpool has the swords in his back. So put the bat in the back. It would look cool. Give him a fucking weird sash for no reason. Maybe put a grenade on it, but let him hit each other with bats. If the guy, make certain rules where if a guy gets a pop-up fly, you can fucking smash it, and you have the third baseman only can run across, maybe not pop-up fly, but whatever the thing. The guy's running towards first. If the third baseman can get to the first base and smash the runner's face with a fucking bat and break his fucking jaw open, that's legal. The second baseman can't do it. Shortstop can't do it. First baseman definitely can't do it. The third baseman. Or maybe, is that too easy? Maybe make it left field. I don't know. I'm not a baseball guy. We'll need to get Bob Costas or Euchre, Bob Euchre, the guy who's in the major league announcer, right? Who's also in fucking Mr. Belvedere. He seems like he knows baseball. Get these guys. They can kind of figure the nuts and bolts out. But I'm a big picture guy. Much like I'm going to rebuild capitalism, this is me rebuilding baseball. Let him hit third baseman only. Because baseball likes esoteric rules. Baseball, I know enough to know that. They like the idea that, like, there's some weird arcane rule about what happens when a fly ball goes into the sun at a certain angle and then it goes foul, but like this, then the pitcher's here. Like, they love that shit. So make it weird. Make it like, every every fractional, make it fractals. Every fucking weird exponent. You do math shit on the innings. Every 72nd inning, which is multiple games, I guess, right? It would be like, so you have to figure it out, and like people have to keep being a coach would actually be part. It would be part of the coach. Like, you have to keep track of. It spans many games. You have to balance. You're competing against Cincinnati, and they're in their 42nd inning, right? Of their reset. You have a 72 inning reset. Stick with me. You have a 72 inning period. We call it a cycle. We'll call it a bat cycle. You're fucking. You play in Cincinnati one day, and they're 42 in their bat cycle. But then you play Detroit, and they're fucking 71 in their bat cycle. When they hit 72, they get a gun for one inning. They get a gun. They can give it to whoever they want. They usually give it to the catcher so he can shoot the fucking runner in the head on the way in, right in the skull. The gun's only got 2 bullets. Maybe they'll start making a gun that just has 2 bullets in it, because there'll probably be some travesty where like it's got 4 bullets in it, and the guy shoots 3 bullets into the head, 2 bullets into the head of the fucking runner, and then it goes off again and shoots the shortstop who's like behind him. And that never should have happened. There should only be 2 bullets in that gun, and 2 went into the guy. Why did the shortstop get killed? This is a fucking travesty. It's like not really the fault of, like, it was just an accident. But it never should have happened if you only had 2 bullets in the gun. So let's start making 2-bullet guns, is my point. But whatever. So the 72nd, on your bat cycle, you get the fucking gun. And so a coach will have to keep track of that. He'll be like, there'll be some double header, or he'll be playing double header against Cincinnati. Next day he's fucking playing Detroit, and he'll fuck it up, and he'll, because there'll be strategy, I guess. There'll have to be some kind of, you could, maybe you could only shoot the guy in the head if he's going more than 2 bases at a time. So you get a home run, that's great. And everyone's fucking pissing and hugging, kissing each other in the mouth. We got a home run. We're the kings of baseball, right? That's typically what happens. You're the king of baseball. No one can stop you. You strut. You jog around the bases like the fucking Marilyn Monroe just got killed by the Kennedy brothers, and doesn't matter. You're Joe DiMaggio. You can't be stopped. But on the bat cycle, you can get shot in the head, right? You can only go 2 base. You can't get shot going to first base. We've modified this. Can't get shot going to first base. You can't get shot going to second base, but you can get shot going to third base. So, but usually you give it to the catcher is the point. So, the third baseman could have shot you, but he didn't, because he didn't have the gun, because the catcher's going to have the gun. So if you fuck up as a coach, you got to tell him, hey, Joe DiMaggio, I know you're the king of the world right now. You don't care that Marilyn Monroe was just butchered by these Irish presidents and his brother, just fucking pissed on, fed pills until she fucking bled, a fucking gangbang, spit roasted, and left for dead, and then she died. You don't care, because you just got a home run. You're the king shit. But don't forget to not pass second base. But you don't do that because you're a fucking bad coach. You forgot. You didn't keep the math in your head. You didn't fucking, you didn't keep track. And then so Jumping Joe DiMaggio, was it Joltin' Joe? Whatever. It's gunshot in the face Joe. That's what it is. He's fucking splayed out. How exciting would that be? And it's avoidable. I mean, should the coach face criminal charges? Not as long as there's a 2-bullet gun. Right? If in a situation where a third bullet, let's say you shot Joe DiMaggio twice in the face, and then Mickey Mantle, were they around at the time? They were on the same team. Why would he be on the field at the same time? It's a runner situation. So whoever, fucking Babe Ruth, I don't care, gets shot after Joe DiMaggio took 2 to the fucking skull. Then it's criminal charges with somebody because they fucked up, because they fired 3 bullets. It's only 2-bullet gun. It's very important. So otherwise, no. As long as you shot Joe DiMaggio with 2 bullets in the head after he passed, more than 2 bases, You're on your bat cycle on your 72nd inning. You gotta keep track of that. It's a rotating thing. Everyone's on a different, and the bat cycles start at maybe different intervals. No, they like start, but they people play different games, different amounts of innings. We gotta find some way to make it more variable. Maybe everyone starts on a different bat cycle or different position in the bat cycle. Because we want a lot of shootings. We don't want. I mean, not too many. Maybe everyone starts. We have to figure out a way for it to happen sometimes, but not all the time. We don't want everyone getting shot in the face. Is it legal to have a Kevlar shield? Maybe you can earn that. You can earn a Kevlar shield by getting a certain average, a certain RBI, a certain what do they call it, ERA. There's another one. There's a fucking sabermetric. I'm not a sabermetrics guy. You watch that movie Moneyball. There's all these different these stats, and some of them are bullshit, some of them aren't. I don't know. But the point, there'll be a stat for the amount of times you got shot in the face, probably, and the amount of times, and there'll be something. There'll be some kind of average that adds up to you get a little Kevlar shield, but it only covers like your wrist, and maybe like a 2 inches on either side. It's not big. It's kind of like the shield that Captain America had in the Infinity War. If you watch those movies, where they give him, where fucking beautiful Chadwick Boseman, R.I.P. says, "Get this man a shield," right? And he comes back like, "I'm used to a much bigger shield." Shut up. Take this shield. It's smaller. It's fine. And he's got a much smaller shield. Something like that. But even a little smaller than that. But that's my point. I don't want some big fucking circle that you can just kind of easily dodge bullets. You have to be. It's got to be skill. It's like there's a lot of skill in hitting a fucking a major league pitch. You might be good at batting, but a major league pitch is very look, it's an elite thing. It's one of the hardest things. They say it's one of the hardest things to do in sports is to actually hit a pitch in the get a hit in the major leagues because the pitching is so elite. So by in the same vein, to block a bullet, if you're Joe DiMaggio, to block that bullet with a very small shield, because you might shoot for the you don't have to shoot the fucking skull. That's just the most satisfying thing to do as a catcher. You might shoot him in the neck. You might shoot him in the dick. I mean, that'd probably be the best thing to do: shoot once in the dick, once in the fucking head. And if you want to go for it, look, it's conceivable that someone could block both. I don't know if it's possible, but you probably want to just block your face and you take the dick shot. I mean, it was not in every game, but this also goes. This is not one of those things that stops in the postseason. So if it's World Series, it's still going on. If it's the World Series, maybe you take a shot in the dick. You go, look, I don't go fucking past second base. Hey, coach, I got my fucking average in a position where I got this Kevlar shield. They can still shoot you in the dick, Joe. I'm like, hey, I'll take the dick shot. I'll take the shot in the dick. All right? I'm a noble American. I'll accept it. I'll accept my fucking fate. And then he fucking, he's running and he gets shot in the dick and he's bleeding. He's bleeding piss and cum. It's just full. I mean, the cum is in his balls, I guess, right? And blood pisses in his bladder. His blood, his piss, and his cum. It's all coming out. And he just fucking slides into the fucking home because he deflects the bullet with his little fucking shield from his face. But the catcher was smart and he got him in the dick first. He was a savvy catcher. He's one of those famous catchers who know. I always shoot the dick first because if they're gonna fucking score on you, they're gonna have the Kevlar shield. They're gonna pull that Kevlar shield. Look, I remember this league when we didn't have Kevlar shields. When you had to take a shot to the face like a man. So if these fucking pricks want to have the Kevlar shields, I'll show them. I'll shoot him in the dick first. He's a veteran. So the point is, but Joe DiMaggio doesn't care. He fucking takes his blood and piss and cum everywhere. And he slides in the home, and he's the fucking man. He's the fucking Marilyn Monroe is dead, but he doesn't care. For one moment, he forgets the fact that the President of the United States and the Attorney General spit roasted his beautiful wife, and he'll have plenty, and then killed her with pills. And he'll have plenty of time to fucking, put flowers on her grave every day until she dies. But for now, he's the fucking blood and piss and cum man who fucking won the World Series. You love baseball again, is the point. And so, I should be listened to. Give me a fucking, let me rebuild capitalism for you. I'll figure it all out. All right, so I'm about to go to the beach. I might not enjoy it. I might enjoy it. I'll enjoy getting some salt water on my skin, and it'll be nice. It'll be pleasant. We'll talk about it more on the Patreon. And perhaps, on next week's show, whatever, it'll be talked about. What happened to me at the beach? Who did what to me at the beach? Who accused me of being a sex pervert at the beach? Hopefully no one. Because I'm going to keep my eyes just focused and not try to stare at, people's asses. Because that's just, it's not enjoyable. It's just not worth the fucking hassle of like, just eat a hot dog. I wish we should go get some hot dogs. Anyway, it's been great. Thanks so much for listening. Remember, you can sign up for the Patreon. It's patreon.com/RayComp. You can follow the link in my Twitter or Instagram in the bio. It's in the YouTube header, whatever. You get an extra episode every fucking week on Thursdays. It's nice. It's great. We're all fucking, we have more ideas. I'll share more ideas about sports, how I can fix them. You follow me on Twitter and Instagram at RayComp. I'll either see you Thursday or I'll see you next week. Have a great day. Happy Labor Day.